And it's a high school. I don't know if they have recess.
It sounds like there were patients contacted in different areas. Does it believe they were treated there, or did they get created in separate areas?
So I don't know exactly where the altercation or the victims were located, but I can tell you that, when officers locate an individual that has been injured, they do a quick triage. If it's something they have to do right then and there, they do if it's safe and feasible to do so. So I just know that the officers were able to get them out of the school and into waiting ambulances and off to the hospital.
How long was the school on lockdown?
I believe it's still pretty much locked down. So if someone wanted to get in, they're not getting in the school.
But students were let out once the normal...
Yep. Once the scene was determined as safe, we knew the suspect was in custody, then the officers were able to get kids out to the parking lot.
Any parents or students involved, have they all been notified?
That's my understanding.
Do you have any idea from the school district if campus will be closed, open tomorrow?
That's information I don't have.
Was the suspect a student?
Yes. There were 6 individuals. 1 was a security guard, and the remaining 5 were students.
And no idea yet of relation between students?
No, I don't know.
And all 6 at the hospital, in the hospital?
Yes, all 6 were transported to local hospitals. A variety of hospitals were used.
Is that security guard a district employee then, not law enforcement?
So they apparently at the high school they have some security guards, and then there's also district patrol. District patrol is shared amongst all of the high schools in Tacoma. The school has apparently 2 security guards that work specifically at this school, and it was one of those individuals.
Are the security guards armed?
I'm uncertain. I don't believe so.
There's a video circulating on social media of the fight. Is law enforcement aware of that? Is that part of the evidence?
If there's video, we would love to have that.
So you don't have it at this point?
I don't know if detectives do. I know detectives are behind me. They're going through everything. So it could be a case where they have it, but to be safe, if you have video, please send it in. I would rather have it 10 times than not at all.
Can you tell us about what led up to this? We're hearing from students that the suspect stole something, and then the 4 were trying to defend him, something like that.
I don't know any of that. I don't know.
If anybody does have any video or anything else they think is pertinent, how would they get that to them?
They would call 911, say that they have information or video related to this incident, and we'll make sure that we get a hold of that.
How long do you expect campus to be like this police presence?
We'll be here for a while. Obviously, a thorough investigation is going to take some time, so I assume that we'll be here for a while.
At this point, no fatalities. But if that changes, how does this investigation change?
Well, any investigation, once there's a fatality, will transition to a homicide. But we have detectives on scene, and a detective does detectives things, whether it's a homicide, a stabbing, an assault. So they'll do a thorough investigation, and however this ends, they will do a thorough investigation.
It's about 1:35, you said that police?
1:35 is when South Sound 911 was called.
Okay, and any idea when that was immediately after the altercation or the injuries?
Oh, I don't know the delay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your message to parents who, got the notification that this was happening today?
Yeah, as a mom, I know how terrifying that could feel. But I would say that, we were here quick. We were here and we were able to locate the individual. The school worked with us. And, everything was secured pretty quickly. So, yeah.
Do you have any outside agency assists?
I've seen a couple different cars from different agencies. I don't know what their involvement's been, but I have seen other cars here.
Is it, I guess in your experience, we are more typically hearing of school shootings, not school mass stabbings. Can you speak to that part of this?
Yeah, violence comes in all forms, and unfortunately today it was this. None of it is okay, and it's not allowed in our schools, and it's not accepted in our schools. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Do we know how the suspect was able to get into the school with that knife? Or are there metal detectors here? Or
I don't know. I know that the suspect is a student here. So outside of that, I don't know.
Is there specific policy within the department with schools in the Tacoma School District for responding to some kind of mass violent situation like this?
Yeah, for any large location, whether they're students and or at a large business, right? There's a way that we respond, there's a way that we communicate, there's a way that we isolate, put information out, make sure that families know where to go if they have loved ones there. So it's a pretty, routine isn't a great word to use, but it's a response that is practiced by law enforcement. It's practiced by your schools, and that's what we showed today, was that practice for incidents like this.
Clarify, I think I heard 6 victims, but one of them is also suspect.
Correct. Yep, correct.
And were 5 of them students?
5 were students. One of those 5 is the suspect.
And was the suspect the only one that was armed?
I don't know. I don't know the answer. Who, if anybody else armed them, I don't know.
Have weapons been recovered from?
I don't know.
When can we expect another update from you guys?
Well, I would say that this is going to carry on into the night. I don't know if you'll get an update from us or from the school district or who, but I would say get a hold of me if you have questions throughout the evening. I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Thank you.